Let's take a look at some of these strategies in action through different functions of a product-led organization. We'll start with product-led marketing, as that's one of the most recognizable ways businesses are applying product-led techniques. While marketers could once create a compelling campaign to mask an underwhelming product, the prevalence of social media, user-generated content, and product reviews have tipped the scales. Users are savvier and customers won't take you at your word. They want hard proof for how a product will deliver value. As a result, the product serves as its own marketing channel with introduction through a free offer or a self-service trial. Product-led marketers will also further improve this experience with in-product guidance and communications that show customers around and encourage habits to form. This makes it possible for customers to discover the value of the product for themselves. So what do product-led marketers do? Identify key activation points that drive usage and conversion, and use these insights to improve messaging and strategy within the product. This could include building a better onboarding experience for new users or encouraging them to return to the product after a few days. As customers become hooked, product-led marketers use their understanding of customer usage and sentiment to identify power users and potential advocates hiding in plain sight. This turns the customer into a megaphone, helping to promote the story on the marketer's behalf. Growth becomes a natural part of the product experience. Let's take a look at an example from Choozle, an ad tech company. Choozle is a digital advertising tool that comes with lots of features for its customers. The product marketing team noticed that users would often miss out on one or more of those features. Occasionally, a customer would even churn on the assumption that a feature they needed wasn't offered, even though it was there all along. The marketing team took a product-led approach by adding in-app messaging directly within the platform to provide users with information about often missed features. How'd they go about this? They used analytics to identify customers who weren't leveraging certain high-value features. This significantly improved feature usage by 154% and drove a 35% increase in revenue associated with the features they promoted. Here's another example from Verizon Connect, which is a fleet management platform. Their software allows users to track vehicles in the field, helps improve worker productivity, and encourages safe driving through a range of customizable GPS solutions. The Verizon Connect user experience team wanted to reduce the cost of customer acquisition while enabling prospective customers to explore the platform for themselves. To solve this problem, they created an automated product demo that gave customers a hands-on experience without sales involvement. As a part of the demo, they used in-app communication to allow users to interact with 24 hours of vehicle data, reports, and automated maps in a sandbox environment. The experience provided prospects with synthetic data to engage with, like they would in a live demo. The demo included links to pricing and plans, turning prospects into educated, qualified sales leads when they clicked a button. Using this approach, Verizon Connect was able to deliver a personalized demo experience that a sales engineer might typically offer, but at scale. Closely connected to product-led marketing is product-led sales. What do product-led sellers do if the product is essentially marketing and selling itself? Similar to marketing, product-led sales teams will use customer engagement data to identify cohorts of prospects, like free trial users, for example, for targeted outreach for cross-sell and upsell opportunities. Product-led sellers also play a key role in collecting feedback about what customers love about a product and what they want to improve to get more value. Here's a product-led sales example from Taligent, an HR and recruiting tool. Taligent's platform offers a suite of assessments designed to provide the deepest level of insight into a candidate's competency and future performance. But for all the insights Taligent was able to bring to its customers, the product team realized it lacked insight into how its own platform was being used. That was making product planning a challenge because they didn't know which features customers valued most. They started utilizing a product analytics tool to get a better understanding of how users were navigating the platform and which features saw the most use. They also used analytics and in-app messaging to promote new features after they launched and to cross-sell assessments to users who would likely find them useful. For instance, they used a pop-up guide to announce a new analytics dashboard feature on the platform's homepage. They followed up with a series of guides to walk users through how to use it, and after using in-app guides to draw attention to a new assessment, product usage increased 30%, which directly impacted Taligent's bottom line. Next, we're going to cover product-led strategies for customer success and support. Because growth begins with products that deliver ongoing value, remaining competitive increasingly depends on the presence of an effective and responsive customer success team. This is why customer success represents the eyes, ears, and heart of a product-led organization. They live on the front lines, listening, watching, and helping customers find their way to value. And since a product-led strategy is based on a continuous dialogue with the customer, the success and/or support team does not have to depend on instinct and anecdote. They can measure and monitor customer health and happiness using hard data, then communicate customers' needs to the entire company. They can also pair quantifiable usage data with customer feedback and stories, providing crucial context to the improvement process. This helps strengthen the link between customer success, product, and every other team, bringing the entire company into closer alignment. Here's an example about how Navex Global, a risk and compliance software provider, took a product-led approach to reduce support call volume. Every 6 weeks or so, the team at Navex would send an email to active users with product release updates and planned outages related to those new deployments. Despite that communication, support tickets still came in during update times and planned outages from users trying to log in. It turned out that only a very small percentage of the company's more than 500,000 monthly active users opened those emails. Navex Global needed another way to get the attention of its large user base, eliminate those frustrations, and provide a better experience for everyone. They made the strategic decision to move these types of communications in-app. In the first 24 hours of launching these in-app communications, they reached almost 70% of their customer base. They doubled down on this approach and pivoted all their release notifications from email to in-app, resulting in 50 person-hours saved every 6 weeks across a team of 5 people. The team also started using in-app communications to notify customers of bugs, deflecting up to 1,000 support tickets within 6 months. Product-led strategies also find their way into more non-conspicuous channels. One of the more unique examples I like to use is around product-led recruiting. Now, how can a recruiting or talent acquisition function be product-led, you might ask? I'll tell you. I came across a software application a while ago and was intrigued by something that the application was doing. I decided to poke around and look at the HTML code to get a sense for how they implemented a feature. I right-clicked, brought up the console, and immediately a message appeared in the window that said, "Hey, if you're looking at this code, you may be a good candidate to work at our company." The message provided a URL to submit a resume and an application. This is a perfect example of a product-led strategy in which a recruiting team is engaged with their product engineering team to get a message put in the product's code to help them source candidates.